Yeah, Facebook. It's already top corner. Just click on the icon on the top.
Okay.
Press the button.
All right, we so
Hey, Shalom, Israel. We Isupk, the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commanding General Yohana. If it is not under Commanding General Yohana, it is not the truth. Tonight, man, we're going to get into the spirit of Esau. We're going to see his birth. We're going to get into his birth, you feel me? Then we're going to find out exactly why the Lord is going to punish him the way he's going to, you understand, according to these scriptures. A lot of times when it comes to Esau, or what we know as the so-called white man today, we don't never want him to receive his punishments for what he's did to our people, you understand?
right.
But though we forget, the Most High does not forget. You know, and we're going to bring that out in scripture tonight. Before I start, man, I want to give it up to Priest and Officer Alazar. Man, this brother is doing a mighty work, man.
Wow.
Food drives, man, putting it together. You know, we feeding our people in the midst of a global pandemic. You understand? Right. Like, the Most High, you know, is blessed this brother, man. And, you know, we feeding our people. You know, Issacharites, you know, Shema, we feeding our people here in Baltimore City, you know. So just want to shout out that brother. If I could, we're gonna start in Genesis 25, man. We're gonna get the inception of Esau, and we're gonna find out what his spirit is. You understand, in this earth today, because it was the same back then. You know, we're gonna see how much of a coward he truly is. You know, and how weak he truly is. You understand? We're gonna pull this in the scriptures. If I could, let's just get Genesis chapter 25. We're gonna start in verse 22.
Come on. This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
So, like, start at verse 21, brother. Sure.
Come on. This is Genesis chapter 5. Genesis chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaiah, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
So Rebekah been trying to get pregnant for a minute, you know. So Isaac went to the Lord on her behalf, you understand? And the Lord heard him, and pretty much he opened Rebekah's womb, and she conceived at this point. You feel me? She became pregnant. Keep going.
Verse 23. Verse 22, and the children struggled together within her.
And the children struggled together within her. You understand? Like, Rebekah had already received the prophecy that, you know, she was going to be having these twins, you understand? And they was going to be, she was already told that the older was going to serve the younger, you understand? So at this point, she's pregnant and her twins are fighting in her belly. They're warned with each other, you know. To struggle is a great labor, you know. To struggle means it's a forcible effort to obtain an object or to avoid an evil. You know, this is what's going on in Rebekah's stomach at this point, you understand? Keep going.
Right, come on. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So she's saying, like, man, I'm going at these kids, you feel me? Why are they fighting in my stomach? You understand? Like, what's going on here? So she went to inquire of the Lord, meaning she took her issues, or she took her questions to a priest of the Lord, you understand? That's what women would do back then. When they inquired of the Lord, that means that they went and found a priest, took it to a priest, and the priest went to the Lord, you understand, on her behalf. People.
Come on. Verse 23, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
We're gonna stop there. See, this is a very pivotal point right here. Because even though Esau and Jacob were brothers, blood brothers, they had the same mother, they had the same father, The Lord is separating them right here.
Right.
It says, 2 nations are in thy womb, meaning there are 2 types of people in your stomach right now. You know, typically if you're having twins, you know, they're going to be of the same lineage. They're going to be, you know, they brothers. So, you know, they one in that sense. You understand? But the Lord separated them, say 2 nations are in that womb. Keep going.
And 2 manner of people.
And 2 manner of people, meaning like they're completely different types of people. So right now, Rebecca is pregnant with 2 nations in her stomach, you feel me? And these 2 nations, these 2 children that represents these nations, they're completely different. They're not similar at all. And typically when you have, you know, you see twins, you know, they may have little personality differences, you feel me? But typically they just alike, you know, they got a lot of the same characteristics. Right. These two children, they're completely separate. They're completely different from each other. Keep going.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. So right now we're starting to get into the characteristics of these nations that's in Rebecca's womb. One is going to be stronger than the other. Keep going.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the elder shall serve the younger. And that's very important because typically the inheritance will go to the oldest son. It will pass on to the oldest son. But right here, the Lord is saying that the elder shall serve the younger. You understand? The Lord is saying that the inheritance is really going to go to the younger son instead of the older son. You understand? Like this is what the Lord is doing. And this is a very important part of this story. You know, so just put an asterisk and remember this point right here, that the Lord said that the elder will serve the younger. You know, but we're going to keep going in the story. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 24. And when her days be delivered, were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Yeah, so twins came out. Twins were in her womb. You understand? Like, she knew that because they were in her stomach fighting. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment.
And the first came out red, all over, just like a hairy garment. You know, that's the one. That's the first sign of who Esau was. You understand? Red. You know, the so-called white man is not literally white. He's like pinkish almost, you feel me?
God.
When he gets mad, he gets red, you know. So imagine a baby coming out, baby crying, you know, and all that nonsense, you feel me? And he's red at this point, you understand?
Oh, okay.
Then he's hairy all over. Like, that's the one thing, like, when it comes to Esau, he's a very hairy individual, you understand? Almost like a pet. Like, imagine goddamn goat or something like that. You see what I'm saying?
God.
He just hurried for no reason. Like you said, if it wasn't for the Gillette shaver, you know, right. He would look just like the caveman that you see on TV.
God.
Keep going.
And they call his name Esau.
And they called his name Esau. You feel me? Esau in Hebrew means wasting away. You understand? When they seen him, his pigmentation, it almost looked like, you gotta imagine, everybody else got color to him. You know, this is what people are used to saying, but when this baby come out, he's red and hairy. It's like, man, his pigmentation, his melanin, so to speak, is wasting away. That's what Esau means.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
And after that, his brother came out. You see, they didn't have to explain the appearance of Jacob.
God.
They didn't have to explain it because when Jacob came out, he was normal just like everybody else.
God.
You know, so it said, read that last part again, Brother Shaw.
God. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
And his hand took hold on Esau's heel. You feel me? Real quick, I'm gonna give you a precept. You just jotted down 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9. You understand? It's for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You understand?
Uh,
You imagine Esau coming out. Jacob is holding on to his heel. You understand? Right now, Esau is running this world. You understand? His kingdom is ready to fall, but our kingdom, like we reaching out because we great take that position in the earth. You understand? You know, so we going to be ruling this earth because his time is coming to an end, and when his come to an end, that's the beginning of ours. You understand? So it's very prophetic what's going on in the scriptures right now.
That's heavy.
Keep going about the shit.
And his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Now we're going to get into the characteristics. We're going to get into the spirit of them, you understand? It said Esau was the eldest son. He was the oldest son. It said he was a cunning hunter. Keep going.
A man of the field.
A man of the field. Now, if you know anything about Esau, or the so-called white man, I don't care who you are on the earth, you know that they love to hunt.
God.
Look at Duck Dynasty.
Come on.
You understand? When they say cunning hunter, that means he's very deceitful in his ways. You understand? They got whistles that they blow to sound like the animals that they trying to trap. Right. You feel me? They cover themselves in deer piss. You know, so they can smell like the animals that they trying to get, and pheromones and all that. You know, they'll sit in a tree, you know, bathe in feces if they got to for hours just to entrap an animal. You understand? He's a very cunning hunter. You understand? This is the spirit of who he is. Keep going.
A man of the field.
A man of the field. You know, when it comes to the so-called white man, the oppressor, he loves being out in the mountains. He loves being out in the woods, you know, rock climbing and mountain climbing and doing all that nonsense. And, you know, he want to be in a safari running with the animals, and he want to be in the ocean swimming with whales and sharks and whatnot. You feel me? Like, that's the spirit, a man of the field. Keep on.
Come on. And Jacob was a plain man.
And Jacob was a plain man, you know. What's the one thing, like, you call your boy up right now, you feel me? You be like, man, what it is, yo, what you getting into? What you doing? You feel me? What are you gonna say all the time?
Chilling.
Man, I'm chilling.
Go.
I'm chilling, you feel me? Like, ain't too much going on.
Right.
That's why when you see brothers like to be home chilling, probably on the porch, you feel me? But, you know, we kind of laid back and chill. You know, this is our forefather, Jacob. He was the same exact way. Keep going.
Dwelling in tents.
You understand? You know, just like we be in the crib, you see what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got nothing pressing. A lot of times we gonna be at the crib chilling, playing games, you know. We simple. You see what I'm saying? Like, right now, Esau is going crazy because he has to be in the house. You feel me? This quarantine is killing him. Like, if you go outside right now, you know, for them claiming to be law-abiding citizens, man, they out running, they walking dogs. You see what I'm saying? Like, they got a face mask on and gloves, but they all in the bars. You see what I'm saying? Like, they ain't stopping no show. It was a devil here in Baltimore during the quarantine. He had a party over his house. Had 60 people in it. He had 60 people in his body. They locked him up. You see what I'm saying? Like, they passed the law, you can only have 10 people in the gathering. He had 60 people in his house, you understand? So he don't even follow his own rules. That's the spirit of him, you know? Keep going.
Verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
So here it is. See, Isaac loved Esau because, you know, Esau was, you know, he was the hunter. He was the one to go out and get the wild, catch the wild game, you know. Isaac, man, that's my boy right there, you know.
Right.
He gonna go out there, he gonna make sure we eat, you know. So Isaac loved him. But Rebekah, remember, Rebekah is the one who the angel came to. Rebekah loved Jacob, you see what I'm saying? Like, her knowing the prophecy that was given to her, I could only imagine her thought process. When first of all, when she seen Esau come out, she just birthed a goddamn German Shepherd. You feel me? Like a German Shepherd just came out of her womb. You feel me?
Good.
And now, like, she see his spirit because he wants to kill, he wants to hunt, he wants to do all this nonsense. You feel me? Like, just for show, not just because just for consuming purposes. He call it game. You feel me? That's why they call it wild game. You feel me? Because that's all it is to him, is a game. Rebecca loved Jacob. Rebecca, she loved the brother who was chilling.
Right.
You feel me? The simple man. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come. Verse 29. And Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
And Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came to the field, and he was faint. Now I want you to pay attention to these upcoming scriptures. You understand? Because we're going to see the heavy spirit of Esau, the so-called white man, even still to this day. You want to see it in these scriptures. Keep going.
Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I'm faint. Therefore his name called Edom.
Yeah, so Esau, he out in the field, he out there hunting, and he probably been sitting in the tree for about 6-7 hours and whatnot, you feel me? So he comes in, you know what I mean? Jacob got a little stew going, you feel me? Put his meat in there and stuff like that. The meat more raw right now, so it's gonna take time. We like to marinate stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like he put the meat in there, the meat's still raw. Esau seeing that is like, man, I gotta have some of that. And man, I'm so hungry, I feel like I'm passed out, man. I gotta get some of this soup. You understand? Like, this is what he do. Like, let's read some more of the scripture. We're gonna come back. Keep going.
Come. Verse 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?
Yeah, it is. So now he's looking at Jacob like, man, I want some of that soup, man.
Okay.
So Jacob like, man, if you want it, what you gonna give up for it? You feel me? Like, you ain't eating for free over here. You see what I'm saying? So they told him, he said, listen, man, send me your birthright. Send me your birthright, you feel me? I'll give you some of this soup. So Esau, the carnal bastard that he is, he said, man, I'm hungry. Right. What good is a birthright to me? And I'm hungry now. What is a birthright going to do for me? You see what I'm saying? I got to eat now.
Right. Come. Right.
Keep going.
Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he shall swear unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
For the asterisk next to this. For the asterisk right here. You understand? Because verse 33, Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he swear unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Did he have to sell his birthright to Jacob? No, he did not. Did Jacob force his hand? No, he did not. He was so hungry, and because he was hungry, he didn't give a damn about his birthright.
Right.
That's why he said, what does it profit me? So on this day, he sold his birthright to Jacob. That means the inheritance that would have passed from Isaac to Esau, you understand? He just gave all of that up for a bowl of soup, and he did it willingly. It ain't like he was tricked into it, you feel me? He did it willingly. Right. He sold his birthright. And right now, the only witness to it is the Most High. There ain't nobody else around, but the Most High has witnessed this covenant, this agreement that they made between the two of them. Keep going.
Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Yeah, so Jacob gave him the red soup. Gave him the red soup. You understand? The red pottage. It was red because the meat was raw. He gave it to him, and he gave him a piece of bread with it. You understand? And Esau, he ate of it. He ate of it, and he despised his birthright. Like he didn't give a damn about it. He could have cared less about his birthright, as long as he was able to eat that raw meat. And if you notice right now, if you go to any steakhouse or something like that, when the oppressor orders a steak, he orders it medium rare.
Oh, okay.
He likes to taste the blood in it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's what he gets off to. You know, if you cook his steak well done, he'll throw that plate at you. You bring that out to him like that. You know?
Right.
I mean, you've ruined the steak.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot taste it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Esau was doing this back then too. You feel me? Eating raw meat, which is unlawful.
Right.
You understand? Like we're not supposed to be eating raw meat. You know, we're not supposed to be eating the blood of an animal, drinking the blood of an animal. You feel me? Like we cook our meat through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come on.
Yeah, 26.
That's the come on verse. This is Genesis chapter 26, verse 1. And there was a famine in the land beside the first.
Like, let's go to Genesis 27, for sure.
Come on.
27, verse. I'm gonna start at verse 29.
29. Come on. This is Genesis chapter 27, verse 26. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee.
Like, 27.
27 and did you say 29?
No, 27. You can start at
Slightly. I'm sorry. You said 26. You want 26?
No, we gonna start at verse. We gonna start in Genesis 27. And I want you the whole story, but just for time's sake, you feel me? Like just for time's sake, we're gonna go down to verse 29.
29?
Yeah, I'm 27 and 29.
All right. You good with that? That's where I was at. You good with that? Let people serve thee.
Matter of fact, go back up to
On like 23, 22?
go to 27. Yeah, go to 22.
22.
Right now, Isaac. No, we gotta go back. Start at verse 1, matter of fact.
Come on, okay.
We gonna get this. We gotta get the spirit of Esau in this.
Come on, okay. Right. This is Genesis chapter 27, verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau, his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here I am. Verse 2. And he said, behold now, I am old. I know not the day of my death.
So right now, Isaac is in his old age. You understand? His eyes are starting to fail. Just as many, when people start aging, their eyes start going bad a little bit. You see what I'm saying? So his eyes are starting to go bad on him. So he called Esau, his oldest son. Told him, man, I don't know the day of my death. You feel me? But obviously, you can start feeling something. You see what I'm saying?
God.
Remember I said earlier, the birthright would typically go to the eldest son. You understand? But the Lord came to Rebekah and told her that the elders should serve the younger. That was the first prophecy that we read. And we already read that Esau sold his birthright already. He sold it already.
Right.
Isaac does not know this. So that's where we at in the story. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 3. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison. Verse 4. And make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die.
Isaac can feel that he's about to pass, you feel me? So he told Isaac, he said, man, because he know that that's his skill set. He said, man, go into the field, man, go kill some venison, cook them up the way you cook them up, you feel me, and bring them to me. because I'm gonna eat with you, and I'm gonna bless you. You understand? I'm gonna give you this birthright.
Right.
That's what Isaac's intentions were. Keep going.
Come on. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. Verse 6. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, verse 7, Bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death.
So right now you see that Rebekah was air hustling. You know what I'm saying? Like
God.
Rebekah was air hustling. She heard what Isaac told Esau, you know. But she knows the prophecy. You understand? So she puts Jacob on game like, listen, your father about to do this, he about to bless Esau, you feel me? She's pretty much telling Jacob, you gonna follow my orders right now, you understand?
Right.
Keep going.
Come on. Verse 8. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, according to which I command thee. Verse 9. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth.
So right now, Rebekah was pretty much telling Jacob, you know, go down there and bring some animals, because what she was about to do, she was actually going, she was getting ready to prepare the meal that Esau was going to prepare for her father, you understand? So because she knew the prophecy, she understood that Esau could not receive his birthright. Esau could not receive his birthright. She understood this. So now she's telling her son Jacob, listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go get that goat. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna hook it up real quick, you feel me? And we're gonna make this thing work. Just listen to everything I tell you to do. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 10. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. Verse 11. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man.
Yeah, see, here's the thing right now. He's ready to take the meal that his mother Rebekah prepared for him. He's about to take it to his father Isaac. You know, so now he's inquiring, like, listen, he a hairy man. I ain't got no hair on me like that, you know.
Right.
Like, this is how Esau agreed. He was a very hairy man. We read that in the scriptures, you understand? So now Jacob is inquiring, like, surely if I get close to my father, he gonna feel my skin. He gonna realize that I'm not Esau.
Right.
You know, Jacob ain't trying to get jammed up for being deceitful or nothing like that, you know. But at the end of the day, when it's the Lord's will is going to persevere. You understand?
God.
Keep going.
Verse 12. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing.
Yeah, so this was Jacob. He was learning about being found out to be a liar, you understand? And then his father Isaac cursed him instead of blessing him, you know? Keep going.
Verse 13. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them.
Yeah, so Rebekah like, nah, listen, whatever the Lord is, or whatever your father, whatever curse he put on you, ain't gonna fall on you. Let it be on me. You understand? Just do what I tell you to do.
God.
Like this is a black mother, you know, pretty much taking up for a black son. You see what I'm saying?
Good.
Like she's telling him, like, do what I tell you to do.
Right.
You let me deal with all the consequences. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what she's doing right now.
Good. So that, just real quick, it's that like a woman, a mother like, well, do what I said, do before I beat your ass.
Right. Like, simple as that.
Right.
Question, nothing I'm telling you to do.
Right.
Keep going.
Come. Verse 14, and he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. Verse 15, and Rebekah took godly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son.
So she went in there and she took some of the clothing from Esau. You know what I mean? She took the clothing, she put that on Jacob, you understand? Because you gotta remember Esau, he was a cunning hunter, so he had that wild game smell in him. He had that Yeah, like you ever hear a woman say, "You smell like the outside."
Come on,
You know?
right.
Like that's what Esau smelled like. You feel me? He probably bathed like that. You see what I'm saying? So he had that scent to him. You know, like,
Come
and that was in his clothes. You feel me? So she went and took his clothes and put it on Jacob. Keep going.
on. Verse 16. And she put the skins of the kids of the goat upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck.
This is how hairy. This is how disgustingly hairy Esau is, the so-called oppressor. Not the so-called oppressor, the so-called white man, the oppressor. You understand?
Right.
She actually took goat skin. Imagine goat skin. She had to put on Jacob, you feel me? And that's how Esau felt. Felt like this damn goat. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is how hairy he was, you know?
Right.
Keep going.
Come. Verse 17. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob.
Yeah, so she cooked the meal just the way she knew he liked it, you feel me? And she prepared her son Jacob, you know, put the clothing on him, she put the goat skins on him, you feel me? Now she's like, let's take this and that to your father. Keep going.
Verse 18. And he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here I am. Who art thou? My son?
Yeah, so Isaac hearing it, he like, you know, remember he can't see, so he listening to the voices. And he asking like, is this my son? Because he's looking for Esau. He know the voice of Esau, he know the voice of his son Jacob. Is this my son? He's referring to Esau. Keep going.
Verse 19. And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou biddest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. Verse 20.
Yeah, so Jacob pretty much, he's telling him like, listen, you know, this is Esau, right? I'm Esau. I'm your firstborn. You understand? Like, you know, Jacob is ready to get that blessing, and he's following the directions of his mother at this point. This is what Jacob is doing. He's following the orders of his mother, and the mother was following the prophecy that was given to her by the angels. You understand? That came to her when she was pregnant.
Come. Verse 20. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy God brought it to me.
And, you know, like I said, Esau sitting in the tree for 6 or 7 hours, man, hunting. So Isaac, like, man, you came back kind of quick, you feel me? Like,
right.
Man, like, you know, what's up? What's going on? You feel me? Keep going.
Come. Verse 21. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not.
Yeah, so Jacob ain't no fool. You see what I'm saying? So he like, man, bring it in. Right. Man, bring it in. Come closer. You know, because though I can't see you like that, I know what my son feel like. I know what it smell like. You understand? So he told Jacob, man, bring it in. Get closer to you know. Keep going.
Verse 22. And Jacob went near Esau, his son. Salaki. And Jacob went near Isaac, his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands of Esau.
Yeah, see, and the thing is, like, this is how you know the Lord is all about this, you know, because, like I said, Isaac wasn't no dummy. He wasn't no fool, you feel me? Even though his eyes are fooling him, he said, man, you got the voice of Jacob, you feel me? But your hands are rough just like Esau, is rough and hairy, you know? Feels just like goat skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he felt like. Keep going.
Come. Verse 23. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau's hands, so he blessed him.
So here's the thing. Isaac was kind of skeptical because he heard Jacob's voice. But when he touched his hand, he said, listen, there ain't nobody else's hand who feel like this.
Right.
So this got to be my son Esau. This is how you know he was a different manner of people. Just like the scripture brought out earlier, you know. Keep going.
And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. Verse 25. And he said, bring it near to me. I will eat my son's venison, that my soul may bless. Salaki, did I go up? Salaki, come on, Salaki. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank.
So Jacob pretty much did exactly what Isaac told Esau to do. You know, he brought him his food. He sat down and ate with him, you feel me? He drank with him. You see what I'm saying? Now Isaac is ready to give that blessing to him. You understand? Keep on.
Come. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son.
Right. And this is for all you homosexuals out there. When he said, come and kiss me, you feel me? He gave him a salute. You understand? He gave him a salute just like we salute each other. Just like we give each other a holy kiss according to the scriptures. We give each other a salute here. You understand? Ain't nothing homosexual about this or weak about this. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 27. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelt the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, Salaki.
Yeah, so when he reached in, you understand, he smelt just like his brother Esau. He smelt like an animal. You see what I'm saying? And Isaac was convinced that this was his son Esau. You understand? Keep going.
And blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord had blessed.
You understand? He smelled like wild game. He smelled like outside. He smelled like the blood of an animal. You understand?
God.
And this was the convincing part to Isaac. Like, yeah, you got the odor. You got the smell. You understand? I know you Esau now.
God.
Keep going.
It's like, if I could, it's like, it just show you like this is like so, like this is such the best identification for you to know Esau and Jacob. Like for him to say you're gonna take the skin of a goat. You got like, you know what I mean, to pretending to be a devil, like, you know what I mean, like the skin of a goat is what lets him know that that's Esau.
Damn animal. You see what I'm saying? Like
that's heavy.
You actually got to take an animal skin and put it on your skin. And that's what the so-called white man. That's what his skin feels like.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That goes to the scripture where it says these are two-man people, not only in spirit but physically. Like we just different.
Right.
You know, we just are. We built different. We look different. You see what I'm saying? Like we strong, they weak.
God.
You know.
So like I was like Robin Williams. I used to think that he was the hurriest devil in the world. Like, yo, he a hairy dude. Like, yo, I used to look at like, yo, he look crazy. He look weird. He ain't the only one.
And the thing is, he was like he ain't shaved in about 6 months.
Right.
And you look at a picture from a week ago, and he was completely bald.
Right.
In a week. You know what I'm saying?
God.
That's why, like you were saying, and they have a bald face. They were like, yeah, I'm gonna grow my beard out, and in 2 weeks they're down here.
Right.
And you like that? You feel me? Like you do that man up there in 2 weeks. I've been growing this for years. Mine ain't nowhere near. You know?
I know that's true.
Keep going, for sure.
Go. Verse 28. Therefore God gave thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine.
Therefore God gave thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. Like, pretty much like what he's giving them good land. You feel me? He's giving them good land, fertile land. You feel me? Where so he can plant, build, and stuff like that. You feel me? The land is going to produce for him. So
Come. Verse 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren.
Hey, this is very important because remember, this is what Esau would have got. But right now, Jacob is receiving it. You know what I'm saying? Say, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Keep on.
Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee.
Now it's starting to look like that prophecy that the angel spoke to Rebecca was starting to come true. You understand? Because all of their sons will bow down to Jacob. You understand? Which is a future prophecy, because every nation in this earth will be subject to Israel one day. You understand? Keep going.
Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee.
And this is very important too, because like I say, cursed be everyone that cursed thee. Every nation on the face of this earth has cursed Israel.
God.
You understand? So when they get in that punishment for what they've done to us, you feel me? This is godly and this is according to scripture. You understand?
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an ending of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau, his brother, came in from his hunting.
Yeah, so, Isaac just got finished blessing Jacob, giving him the inheritance. You know, telling him, like, boy, you're going to be the man. You see what I'm saying? Like, your people are going to be the ruling class. You feel me? So Isaac got this news, man. He got up out of there. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Jacob got this news. He got up out of there. And then comes Esau. He just coming back from the field from hunting all day. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 31. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may be blessed. That thy soul may bless me.
So yeah, he goes out, he cooks the father food just like his father told him to. You understand? Now, when he brings it in, he tells him, man, listen, wake up, rise up, eat this food, man, so you come on, get on with this blessing.
Right.
He's very carnal, you see what I'm saying? Like, he wants what he wants right now, you know, and if it's anything that gets in the way, he'll do whatever he got to do to get it. You see what I'm saying? He wants his blessing right now. You feel me? Damn, he shoved the food down his father's throat. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Just like the devil that came to the food drive when he was giving out food.
Perfect.
I don't know if you want to bring it out. Man, that devil, she came there, older Edomite, came out there while we giving out food. Man, she straight comes. We giving out the food. We doing it in order. We passing out food. Don't nobody come to the table. They'll come to us. Nobody even had the audacity just to give me that. Let me get that. Like everybody looking and they waiting for us to give them orders. You know, maybe like, all right, you can get that. Man, she straight come over like, what you got? Get the reaching. She grabbing stuff. We like, hold up, just hold up. I'm telling you, every time we say hold up, and we been as patient. We've been patient like the scriptures say, be patient. Man, we've been patient with it, and she just still. Let me get that. She reached. I'm using my body like, oh, hold up, wait. Everybody like, hold up. She going to everybody. Everybody like, no, wait. Man, if it wasn't for Cat, he had to come out there like the father. Get up, move. Man.
And that's, like you said, that's the spirit, you know, because there's no, you know, with social distancing, we passing out lunches, you feel me? Like, we ain't letting just people just come up to the table and just start grabbing what they want and stuff like that. We passing out. But she felt it in her spirit that she can come over, reach on the table, grab what she wants. Right. She ain't listening to nothing nobody got to say, you feel me? And she thinks she good with that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like the audacity of it. Like you understand what kind of spirit you gotta have on you to come in the midst of us and start grabbing and doing what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? This is the spirit of Esau. They feel like they can do whatever they want to do whenever they feel justified in doing it. You see what I'm saying? And you're gonna see this in the scripture with, you know, as we keep reading.
Verse 32. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn, Esau.
I was like, you know, wait a minute. who are you? You know me? Like I just gave this blessing out already. You know me? Like, you missed out.
Right.
And what they say, they laid the dollar short. You know?
Right. Keep going. Come. Verse 33. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who is he that have taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten all before thy camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed.
Hey, listen, I don't know who that was that came before you. Yeah, Isaac was like, man, I don't know who that was that came for you, you know, but he brought the venison into me, you feel me? Like we ate, and I blessed him already. So man, like, what's up? Like, who are you? You feel me? Who was that came in that already blessed?
Okay. Verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, oh my father.
So like, and this shows you how much of a coward he really is. You understand?
God.
This shows you how weak he really is. You understand? Like, because here it is, he knows that he sold his birthright.
Come on.
Like that was between him and Jacob. He sold his birthright already. Fair and square. He got his red raw meat out the deal, so he got what he wanted. But now when it comes time to pay back that birthright, Daddy, please bless me. You know, he's crying, like exceeding cry, you feel me? That's how they are today.
Oh, me.
You see what I'm saying? Like they're still a country. They're still they're still everything here in North America. And then tell our Isupk brothers you can't even come across the border.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like they do their dirt. They make treaties with the North American Indians. You understand? Like they make treaties, they make covenants and stuff like that. And they get what they want out of the deal. But when it comes time for them to pay up, they always want to renege.
Right.
You understand? They always want to go back on it. You understand? But guess what? They made this covenant between them in the midst of the Lord. And the Lord is going to hold them accountable for everything that he said and everything that he does. You understand?
Verse 35. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing.
Yeah, I was like, man, your brother came. He already got the blessing that I had for you already. You feel me? He got your birthright. That's what he's telling me. He got your birthright. He got your inheritance right now. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 36. And he said, is not the rightly named Jacob? For he have supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he have taken away my blessing.
See, and this is what we call the white man, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because this conversation right now that he's having with his father, he makes it seem as if Jacob did something wrong with him.
Right.
He makes it seem as if Jacob stole something from him or forced his hand or something. You see what I'm saying? But he willingly sold his birthright. Jacob didn't take it from him. He made a covenant with Jacob before the Lord. You feel me?
Right.
And the Lord upheld it. He upheld it. That's why he didn't receive the birthright blessing.
Right.
But now he goes crying and being all weak and cowardly to his father. Well, he supplanted me. You know, he's removed me from my power. He's taking my birthright. You know, and all this. This is what they do today. You understand? This is why, like, they know that they stole this country. They know that they took this country. They know that they made 77 treaties.
I go play.
With the North American Indians. But nevertheless, none of that matters because they already got what they wanted. None of that matters. You understand? At the end of the day, all that matters is they're going to try to get what they can get out the deal. They don't want to give nothing back. This is what Esau was doing right now in these scriptures. And as of right now, he has not been repaid for the deceitfulness in which he dealt with our North American Indian brothers, you see what I'm saying? But guess what? The Lord is going to hold him accountable. The Lord is going to hold him accountable just like he held Esau accountable in this situation, you feel me? A lot of people always look at Jacob and say, well, he lied to his father, man, he did all this wickedness and stuff like that. No, he did what the Lord put on his spirit to do. You see what I'm saying? Like the Lord wrote a prophecy to Rebecca. And if the Lord is the one doing it, you feel me? It is nothing unrighteous about it.
Right.
His birthright was taken from him. He gave it away willingly. Now he's crying bitterly. Daddy, bless me. You know, he supplanted me. He's taking everything from me. You feel me? He's a coward. You understand? Keep going.
Come. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
They gotta, crying like a whore, you feel me? That's what that was. Like, he know that he gave up his birthright, you feel me? But now he's going before his father, he's crying, crying tears because he's been disrespected, he's been mistreated, everything's been done wrong to him all of a sudden, you see what I'm saying? When in all actuality, man, he gave everything that he's crying about right now, he willingly gave up. They say he despised his birthright. You feel me? He despised his birthright. He had no respect for it because he's so carnal. He wants what he wants right now. You feel me? He could have easily said, I'm not going to eat that soup. You feel me? I'm not going to give my birthright up. But because of the carnal nature that you deal with when you deal with the so-called oppressor, the so-called white man, you see what I'm saying? When you deal with him, you got to understand that he's dealing in full carnality. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you make a deal with him, just know that he's going to try to do something. Like, if you look at contracts, the way the contracts are written down, you can hardly understand them. You see what I'm saying? Because they use words, or they won't add a word to a contract, so that therefore they found a loophole in it, and they can deceive you somehow when you come there to receive your portion of the deal. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what he does, and this is what Esau is doing, and he's crying to his father for a blessing. You feel me? Keep on.
Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt thy brother, and serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Yeah, so like, Isaac tell him, man, you gonna live by the sword, you know? And it shows you the characteristic of Esau. Every nation that he's been in, he's conquered it by bloodshed, you feel me?
Right.
He's conquered it by the sword, you feel me? He's went in and killed entire nations and then took over their land, took over their culture. You understand? Like, he don't go nowhere and just try to fit in. When he comes, he's coming to kill, you understand? Like,
Right.
you could think that you're gonna, you're gonna work peaceably with them. Like, if you go on the job and you go on your slavery right now, you feel me? You'll have that one oppressor that'll come in and try to fit in with everybody and stuff like that, you feel me? If you give it 6 months to a year, you feel me? What he's gonna do is he's gonna stir up enough, he or she. Them she devils are horrible too, you feel me? Like, they're gonna stir up enough strife, you feel me? Then they're gonna start implementing what they want done into the strategy, you feel me? Like, I've had that at slaveries, where it'll be me and a couple black people, you feel me, and like, we got a plan together. And next thing you know, you'll have Esau come in and, well, I don't think that'll work well right there. Maybe we should try this way, you feel me? Mm-hmm. And they come off so docile, you see what I'm saying? Like, that you be like, all right, get my boys, let's hear him, you feel me? Right. And next thing you know, all of you all answering to him or her. You see what I'm saying? This is what they do. This is sidebar, man. My kids, man, they was watching the show. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. They all downstairs and they sleep. You see what I'm saying? Like that, and that's all they're doing is playing video games and watching TV during this quarantine. Right. But I go down there, the TV on this, like, it was this show. It was like it was 2 kids, man. It was a black kid and a white kid, you feel me? They probably around like 9, 10 years old. Of course, the black kid is bigger than the white kid. The white kid, he's strong, he got little glasses on, you feel me? He look real weak in his posture and everything, you feel me? So he comes to the black kid and he said, listen, I don't want to go to gym, man, because they playing dodgeball. And I can't never get nobody out, man. They're just gonna hurt me in there, So of course the black kid like, nah, man, we get in there, we on your team, I got you, you feel me? Like, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. So when they get in there, the gym teacher made both of them team captains, so they was going against each other. The black kid was in his glory, man. He throwing dodgeball, getting people out, going behind his back, he catching the passes, he doing his thing. It comes down to this white kid, his buddy. All he had to do was throw the ball to get him out. He won the game. He held the ball and said, you know what, I can't do that to my friend. I can't do that, man. So he talking to the gym teacher. Gym teacher's like, man, go ahead and finish it off. Like, you killing him. Get him. While he talking to him, the white kid picked the dodgeball up, threw it and hit him, and got him out, you feel me?
Right.
And he goes, yeah, you know, his teammates lifting him up on his shoulders and whatnot,
Right.
you feel me?
Right.
And the black kid looking like, man, you gonna do me like that? I say, this is the spirit of Esau, and what it is they putting it into the cartoon, they putting it into our children's mind at an early age, you feel me? They come off real docile, you know, like the scriptures say, like their words are smooth as butter, but it's nothing but war in their heart, you feel me? Like they come off so weak and almost innocent, you see what I'm saying? The way that you put your guards down and feel sorry for them,
Right.
and that's when they strike, you see what I'm saying? This is the same thing with Esau, you feel me? And this is why we call him the devil that the Bible speaks of, because this is what he do. You see what I'm saying? He's very crafty in the way he maneuvers and everything that he says, you feel me? And that's the spirit of Esau that we reading about many moons ago, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
His spirit is still in this earth today, you feel me?
Daddy.
Keep running, brother, Michelle.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna start from the top of 41. And Esau, that's where we at. So verse 41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. And when I slay, and then I will slay my brother Jacob.
There you go. So, man, my father about to die. So because he took my blessing, because he took my birthright, which he didn't take, he sold.
God.
When my father died, I'm gonna kill my brother. You feel me? This is the spirit of Esau. You see what I'm saying? Like he's been seeking to kill us since his inception. You feel me? That's why I say he's had a perpetual hatred, an everlasting hatred towards the nation of Israel. You understand?
God.
Keep going.
Verse 42. And these were words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau as touching thee, doeth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee.
So pretty much Rebecca, she can hear what Esau is planning to do, you feel me? So she put Jacob on game, like, listen, he gonna try to kill you when your father die, you feel me? So, you know, she looking out for her son. She gonna put him in a position in which he can pretty much save his own life, you feel me? And that's the story in that, you feel me? But this is very important that we understand the spirit of these people, you feel me? Because once we understand the spirit of them, now we got to know how we deal with them. You see what I'm saying? Like Esau is our enemy. Like, do we say that he's our enemy just because we don't like white people? We don't like how white people look and they just different from us? Is that why we don't like them? No. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You feel me? If I could, let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 68. You feel me? A lot of people, the first thing they ask us is, so you hate white people? Why do you hate white people? Why do you hate at all? You feel me? Why do you call them your enemies? You know, we're all in one nation. You feel me? We're gonna understand according to the scriptures why Esau is our enemy and why we are supposed to hate him. Not the way he like. And when we say hate, people automatically look at the word hate through the lens of the white man. You feel me? Because when he hates, he kills. When he hates, he rapes and robs. You feel me? Like we're not. All of that stuff is unlawful. We don't do that kind of stuff.
Right.
When we hate, you know what we do? We separate. We leave his culture to him, and we come over here and we serve the Lord. You see what I'm saying? That's how we express our hate. Our hate ain't going out there and murdering them and stringing them up by trees and stuff like that. That's what they do. So when people ask us, man, why do you hate? Why do you hate white people? Everyone's not bad. Everyone didn't have a slave. You understand? This is always the argument. You feel me? Like, but we got to understand that this nation of people, we were never meant to we were never meant to be cool with. That's why it said in the scriptures we just read, it said that two nations are in that womb. The Lord separated us in Rebecca's womb. You feel me? Two manner of people coming out. We're two separate nations. The Lord separated us at birth. You feel me? But now we want to understand who our enemy is and why they are our enemy in Deuteronomy.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. You feel me? Egypt means bondage. The term Egypt means bondage. And again, remember we were slaves already in Egypt. So when it says again, it means that we're coming into bondage again. This time with ships. You feel me? This is now the transatlantic slave trade that's being described in the Bible. You feel me? Because people always say, well, there were different forms of slavery back in all through. Yeah, but they were never on ships. Now you're taking a people and bringing them from one place, putting them on ships and shipping them off to another place. You feel me?
Right.
This is where this happened. You feel me? This is the transatlantic slave trade that we're reading right now. Keep going.
By the way of I speak unto thee.
By the way of where I'm speaking to thee. Keep on.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Like this is our homeland. You see what I'm saying? Like we ain't. Even though we can get on a plane and we can fly to Israel, as a nation, that's not our nation. We're not in that land right now. You feel me?
Right.
Like we don't occupy Israel. That's how you know that the so-called the Jewish bastard that's over there right now. That's how you know that he's not the real people. Because right here in the scriptures, the Lord is saying you're not going to see that land again. Mm-hmm. You're not going to occupy that land. That's not going to be your home. You feel me? So if that's the case, how are you over there living now? You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Thou shalt see it no more again. We should not see our homeland no more again. You feel me? Like we got kicked out of there, and that's how we got over to the Americas, to North America. You feel me? Keep going.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies. Who were we sold to? We were sold by the Africans, the Hamites, and the Arabs. You understand? We were sold unto our enemies, who is the so-called white man. You feel me?
Right.
That is who our enemies are according to the scriptures. Keep going.
For bond men and bond women, and no man shall buy you.
We were sold unto our enemies for slaves. You see what I'm saying? We came over here. We didn't come over here to prosper and be one and be equal with them. We came over here to serve out a slavery. That was the whole purpose of us coming over here. And no man shall buy you. Feel me? Here's the thing, like, this is also how you know we're not Africans and we're not on none of these other nations, because if that's the case, why haven't they come back? And they got armies over there.
Right.
You know, they got, all manner of weaponry and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's the motherland, you feel me? Like, this is the original man, the Mother Earth, you feel me? They got all these gold and all that under there. They got wealth. Man, you go over there, the white man is running them too. You understand? But the reason is, like, no man shall buy us because they know that we're not their people. You see what I'm saying? And the Lord is going to be the one to think much. You feel me? Like, this speaks into how the Most High looks at us as his children too. You feel me? Like, imagine you having a son that you had to punish. You feel me? And then another man coming over there and saving your kid. You feel me?
Right. God.
Another man coming over there, speaking words of wisdom to your child. You feel me? Now your child look at him like, man, you know what? Man, I know you ain't birthed me, but you're my father, man. Like, imagine how that'd make you feel as a man. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We'll say, nah, damn, man, ain't no man gonna buy you. You feel me? When you get redeemed, it's gonna be by my hands. You see what I'm saying? Because if we would have got brought by anybody, you feel me, that'd have been our God. We'd have looked to that person as God himself. You feel me?
Right.
The Lord reserved the right. You see what I'm saying? If I could, let me get Obadiah, verse I think it's verse 8. No, it's like hold that. I thought verse 9 up the show.
Okay.
If you never read the book of Obadiah, read it. It's talking about Esau. It's talking about the punishment that's going to come to him. And for all of those who wonder why we feel the way we feel about Esau, the so-called white man, the Bible is going to explain to you why. You feel me? Keep on.
Chapter 1. Chapter 1, verse 9. Come on. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by thy slaughter, may be cut off by slaughter.
They're going to be dismayed. You feel me? Because they're so arrogant and so prideful that they don't feel like no one can take them down. You feel me? But it said every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. You understand? The Lord is going to repay them and going to punish them by cutting them off and killing them by slaughter. You understand? But why is he going to do this? Keep going.
Come, verse 10. Chapter 10. Verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shall.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. If you ever wonder why we feel about Esau the way we feel about Esau, if you ever wonder why we speak the way we do about Esau, the so-called white man, the oppressor, the colonizer, it's because of the crimes that he's committed against our people. It's because of the crimes he committed against our people that he's never been paid. He's never faced any kind of punishment for it. You feel me? The Lord is saying, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Keep on.
Verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
You understand? This is what the Lord is going to do. This is their punishment. What you see in slavery, what you see still going on today, they shooting our brothers, they shooting our sisters, they beating our elderly up, you feel me? They killing our youth, you understand? You know, they planting drugs in our community and then making it like we the criminals, you understand?
Okay.
The Lord says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. You understand? The Lord is going to kill Esau. All of them.
God.
You understand? Like the Lord is going to repay them for what they've done to us. You understand? Because what he did to us, he was never given the permission to do. The things that he did to us in this earth, the things that he's done to us in the past, to our forefathers and our foremothers, just like Esau, he made a covenant with his brother Jacob, and he thought that it was just them. It was just them. Now, the Most High was in the midst of that. The Most High heard that.
Right.
You feel me? So just like he sold his birthright and then tried to play the 50, you feel me, when it came to them blessings. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing he do now, you feel me? Because they kill us, they put us in prison, they put abortion clinics in our communities, you see what I'm saying? Like, they do all of this and then cry innocent. Well, I didn't have slaves. Well, I did, but you benefited from it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like every piece of wealth that you've occurred is because your forefathers killed my forefathers. It's because your foremother killed my foremother. You understand?
Right.
And because they did that and they didn't suffer no punishment for it, guess what? You won't have to pay for it now.
Right.
So like this is why we feel what we feel about Esau, the so-called white man. You understand? The Lord has put it in us to be enemies. We just read in Deuteronomy 28 where we were sold into our enemies. You understand? Like Esau is our enemy. So the way that we fight him is by serving the Lord.
Right.
The way we fight him is by giving up birthdays, not celebrating our birthdays, not celebrating Christmas, not celebrating Easter, not celebrating Halloween and all these wicked holidays. You understand? Right. Like the way we hate Esau is by loving each other. You feel me? And this is what the Bible is trying to convey to us. You feel me? And this is why it's so important that we come to these classes, man, and get that understanding. Because outside of here, the Christian church is going to tell you that you got to love everybody.
Right.
But it's impossible for you to love everybody. You can't love the abuser and the abused. You feel me? You got to take punishment. You got to punish the one who's doing all the harm in the earth. You see what I'm saying? How can you love him and then love the people that he's killing?
Right.
That's why I say you can't serve two masters. You feel me? Because either you're gonna love one and hate the other. You feel me? And this is what happens to our people. Because we're not taught properly, you feel me? We begin to love our enemies and hate our brothers. And with that, I want to pass the class over to Priest and Officer 500 Al-Azhar for reading of the security announcement.
You are the Isupk out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to marry to a brother or a sister. Get permission to marry from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tights, which is the commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 20 through verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced my Asherah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, we still waiting for word. Just wait, hear from your captain in your city to hear when the Passover will be, according to, going off for the whole coronavirus. And make sure you check on social media, Isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black. This includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. We want to give one courteous salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Amadi Shabbat, Barak, Amadi, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yasharakatah. Esau, which means time. You want to give one courteous salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Amadi Shabbat, Barak, Amadi, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Adam Ba'Shem Yasha. Yakata, class dismissed.